Hello.
Hello.
Continuing, after a few days of skipping, continuing with Tripura Rahasya, and we're on the last chapter. But first, in case somebody is sort of new to this, or as a reminder, here's a few sentences from the introduction by Swami Rama. A great yogi does not belong to any caste, creed, sex, or ethnic group because he has already transcended all such superficial limitations. The knowledge that enlightens such an aspirant is called Tripura Rahasya. Oh, there it came up. I'm trying to get this thing, we're trying to get this up here. There. Alrighty. Transcend all such limitations. The text by that name, the knowledge that enlightens such an aspirant is called Tripura Rahasya. The text by that name is one of the most significant scriptures in the tradition of Tantra Yoga. Tantra Yoga, Tripura. Rahasya is the secret. Secret means secret in Tripura, so it's the secret of Tripura. The chapter is entitled, remember here that the teacher in this text is Dattatreya and the student is named Parashurama. So Dattatreya is teaching Parashurama and has been telling him a lot of stories in which are embedded the principles. And this chapter, this last chapter, is the means of attaining knowledge, the signs of attainment, and the dialogue between Hemangada and the Brahma Rakshasa.
There's another chapter.
Oh, that's right. Okay. When we finish this chapter, there's going to be one more bonus chapter. They've added another chapter in there. Anyway. In this way, Parashurama's confusion was almost removed by the teachings of Dattatreya, but Parashurama, although he's a great sage, is a little bit slow. So don't feel bad if it seems a little familiar to you. Was almost removed by the teachings of Dattatreya. Paying homage to the master, he humbly asked, one more time, "Oh Lord, please, please give me the essence and the exact way of sadhana, that which is simple and direct, O bestower of liberation. Also, please tell me the signs and symptoms of the enlightened ones so that I can recognize them immediately." Parashurama questioned the compassionate Dattatreya, who became very happy and said, "Oh, Parashurama, listen, I will tell you the secrets of sadhana." Here we go. The grace of the Lord is the means of attaining knowledge. For that one who with full zeal surrenders himself to the Lord, attaining knowledge becomes certain. Therefore, O Parashurama, this is the best way of attaining pure knowledge. Self-surrender is the best of means. Without it, the fruits of pure knowledge cannot be attained. If it is not used, other means do not avail. I will tell you the reason. Knowledge is synonymous with pure consciousness. That illumines all. The imaginary veil around that self-luminous consciousness is removed with the help of contemplation. By having freedom from that, its pure nature is revealed. Pretty cool, huh? Those sadhakas who are involved in worldly activities find it very difficult. Devotees are filled with profound devotion. They are very loyal to their sadhana. That is why they attain higher consciousness easily. This is undoubtedly true. If one is devoted to God and simultaneously practices non-attachment and other means, he easily feels oneness with the self, After that, if he shares his knowledge with other worldly sadhakas, consciousness of the truth is strengthened. In this way, by constant contemplation, one becomes strong enough to receive the grace of Shiva and attains freedom from pain and pleasure. Wherever he travels, he sees Shiva in all. In this way, by being a great adept, he attains the status of Jivan Mukta and liberates himself in this lifetime. Having full reverence towards seekers and discussing the nature of the self with them is higher sadhana. There is no sadhana equal to contemplation with devotion. O Parashurama, it is very difficult to know the signs and symptoms of the attained souls, because their true nature is beyond the perception of the senses and beyond the explanation of others. External symptoms are not an indication of the knowledge within. By noticing external symptoms like physical magnanimity, good garments, and jewels, one can never know how much knowledge of the scriptures another has. Similarly, others cannot know one's state of enlightenment. O Parashurama, if one tastes something sweet, he alone experiences the taste. Others do not. Similarly, the knowledge of one person is not known to others. Just as the ants can find their way instinctively, similarly the wise and learned ones undoubtedly know the realized ones.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joel. In the scriptures, tranquility and several other symptoms have been explained, but it is not necessarily true that those symptoms are found in the liberated ones. There are many gross and subtle symptoms which are not known to ordinary people. It is possible for people to imitate the way realized souls speak and act. You think so, maybe? Oh my.
Where's your beard, Swamiji?
Yeah, I need my beard.
Yeah, with your stick-on beard.
My stick-on beard.
Yeah.
If those whose inner faculties are not purified practice the techniques for attaining knowledge and their minds become steady, they can develop external qualities similar to those of the realized ones. However, their impurities prevent them from attaining permanent spiritual wisdom and bliss. Matri's typing over there. Those who are unaffected by gain and loss, praise and insults, victory and defeat are the higher order of sadhakas. This is Tripura Rahasya chapter 21, which was introduced in the couple minutes before you came. Those who spontaneously and confidently come up with answers to any questions related to self-realization are the best jnanis. One who is inspired by hearing about spiritual knowledge and does not hesitate to discuss it is also endowed with the symptoms of a jnani. Those endowed with a content and purified mind, who perform actions selflessly and are tranquil even during great upheavals, are the best jnanis. Boy, it's raining outside. But we're dry inside with a nice roof.
Yes.
Pretty cool, huh? Oh, Parashurama, they have many other characteristics, but remember that the analysis of these qualities is meant for gauging one's own love of spiritual development, not for others. The sadhaka should always remain engaged in introspection as one shows great skill in examining others, similarly, if he examines himself attentively within and without, he will surely attain perfection. When the sadhaka stops seeing the good and bad qualities of others and starts examining within himself, then he attains siddhis. Parashurama, the characteristics of the jhanis explained here should be applied only during self-analysis. In the examination of others, these standards may not apply. The aspirants who have purified their minds and hearts attain the goal even with their initial effort. After attaining the goal, they continue performing actions on the basis of their previous karmas and samskaras. How can you recognize those jhanis by observing their activities? Only a jhani can recognize another jhani through his insight. Like jewelers alone can test precious gems and know if they are genuine. The lowest level of jhanis seem outwardly similar to the ignorant because they have not yet achieved sahaja samadhi, spontaneous samadhi. As long as they remain in contemplation, they are complete. But the moment they get up, they start identifying themselves with their bodies and experience pain and pleasures just as animals do. When 2 corners of a cloth are dipped in dye, the rest of the material soaks up the dye. Just so, a worldly experience occurring during contemplation is colored by contemplative truth. That is why it cannot become a cause of bondage. During contemplation, though he functions in the world, his awareness of the self exists. So awareness of the self exists or continues. That is why he is not in bondage. The second category of jhanis do not identify themselves with their bodies. The wise remain eternally aware of the self. When they are in a state of samadhi, they cannot participate in any external activities. As in the sleeping state, the body's natural functions continue. So is the case in samadhi. A person may speak or act in sleep due to his previous vasanas, but he is not aware of it. A drunk does not remember what he said or did. Likewise, if by chance a great yogi of this intermediate stage performs actions, he does so without being aware of them. Because of the karma of his past lives, his body is sustained. But the highest jhanis do not have body awareness. Just as the charioteer drives the chariot of the body is also driven. As the charioteer driving the chariot does not identify himself with the chariot, similarly an adept does not identify himself with his body and its functions, and he has no consciousness of his own body. Such is fully realized. What?
So as we're reading this, the ego is going in my mind like, yeah, but what's then there for fun if we're not aware of all of this?
Yeah, then what fun is there?
Yeah.
Pure from within, established in Atman consciousness, he acts in the world exactly the way a man in a drama dresses as a woman and assumes the part. While playing with a child, a mature person behaves like a child, yet is unaffected by the result of the game. Similarly, the highest level jhani functions in the world, yet remains unaffected. A second level jhani maintains his spiritual awareness with the help of control over the mind and its modifications, but such a jhani's attainment is due to his firmness. The jhanis are in three categories on the basis of their maturity and stability. In this regard, I will narrate a dialogue between two enlightened ones. Please listen. Another reminder to him. Please listen. Long ago in a mountain region there lived a king named Ratnangada. He lived in the city Amrata near the bank of the Vipasa River. He had two sons, Rukmangada and Hemangada, who were very brilliant and were the favorites of their father. The older prince, Rukmangada, was an authority on the scriptures, while the younger one, Hemangada, was a jhani of the highest caliber, a knower of the self. One fine spring they rode into the dense forest with their army to hunt deer. They shot deer, oh my. They shot deer, tigers, rabbits, and wild buffalo. Exhausted at last, they sat down near a lake, and hopefully the tiger ate them. Terrible on my part.
It seemed to be a big contradictory. If you know the South, and still go on hunting.
On the other side of the lake, a Brahma Rakshasa, a Brahmin ghost, was living in a banyan tree. He was an excellent scholar who would challenge other savants to philosophical debates. He would eat his defeated opponents. He lived like this for a long time. The senior prince also had a penchant for debate. When he heard about the learned Brahma Rakshasa, he went to see him and launched into an argument. When the younger prince saw that his brother was defeated and was about to be carried off by the Brahma Rakshasa, he cried, "Oh, Brahma Rakshasa, do not eat him yet. I am his younger brother. Defeat me also, and then you can eat us both." Hearing this proposal, the Brahma Rakshasa replied, "I am starving to death. It has been ages since my last meal. I will eat him first and then debate with you." "Oh, Prince, I am quite sure that once I defeat and devour you, I will be fully satisfied. The sage Vashishta gave me a boon. Many years ago, his disciple Devrata came here, and I ate him too. Then Vashishta cursed me. O Brahma Rakshasa, from this day forth, if you eat human flesh, your face will be burned. When I begged for mercy, he granted this boon. You may eat only those human beings you have defeated in debate. I have always obeyed this injunction. Finally, I have won this delicious morsel. O Prince, after eating him, I will debate with you." Saying this, he was ready to eat the elder prince. Chomp, chomp. I added that. Doesn't say chomp, chomp. The younger prince interrupted. "O Brahma Rakshasa, please hear my request. Tell me, is there anything you will take from me in exchange for my brother?" Hearing this, the Brahma Rakshasa replied, "Listen, Prince, there is nothing for which I can exchange him. Who would give up a delicious meal after going hungry for so long? However, there is one possibility. I have some questions. If you can answer them, I will free your brother." The prince said, "Ask, and I will reply. What is wider than space and subtler than an atom? What is its nature, and where does it exist?" O Brahma Rakshasa, listen. Chit, absolute consciousness, is larger than space and more subtle than an atom. Its nature is self-luminous, and it abides in the self. O Prince, if it is one and the same time all-pervading, then how can it be the most subtle? What is that illumination, and what is the self? As the cause of all, it extends everywhere. It cannot be perceived by the senses, therefore it is subtle too. Both light and self are identical with consciousness. Where does the place exist where consciousness can be attained, and what happens after attaining it? O Brahma Rakshasa, listen. Buddhi, pure mind, and one-pointedness is that through which consciousness is attained. Once it is attained, one is not reborn. O Prince, what is Buddhi, and how does one make it one-pointed? How is it born? What is birth? Consciousness veiled by ignorance. Consciousness veiled by ignorance is called Buddhi. It's a very important point, because so many of us, we overlook that, that we think Buddhi is so great, but Buddhi is actually a result of ignorance, of avidya. One-pointedness means uninterrupted contemplation on Atman, once the ignorance has happened. To identify with the body causes birth. Why is consciousness not attained? What is the way of attaining it? Why is one born? Brahma Rakshasa, listen. Because of ignorance it is not attained. It is attained spontaneously. Birth is the result of thinking one is the doer. O Prince, what is that ignorance? What is the real self? What is the sense of doership? Not surprisingly, he says again, listen, Brahma Rakshasa. Listen.
Listen.
Listen. Seems to be a key pattern there, doesn't it? Pay attention. To identify the self with the body is ignorance. What is the nature of Atman? Ask yourself from where the sense of I do it arises. Ask yourself from where the sense of I do it arises. This desire brings you back as a doer, and such a desire is the ego of the doer. O Prince, how can ignorance be dispelled? What is its cause, and what is the root of that cause? O Brahma Rakshasa, listen. It is overcome through vichara, right contemplation. The cause of vichara is vairagya, non-attachment. And the cause of non-attachment is acknowledging the impermanence of worldly objects. Wow, huh? Impermanence.
Joe's also listening.
Yep.
Good.
O Prince, what is contemplation? What is non-attachment? And what is a negative attitude toward the objects of the world? Discrimination of the non-self from the self is called contemplation. Complete indifference to the objects of the world is called non-attachment. Objects create pain because of one's negative attitudes towards them. This sentence here, complete indifference to the objects of the world, is called non-attachment. Now that might sound way out of reach for most of us living in the world, but I just want to add here that a part of that is being very, very attached to the objects of the world, but yet being fully aware of those attachments. So it doesn't, if we're doing that, it doesn't mean we have failed because we have not succeeded in total non-attachment. It means we are succeeding because we see the trap we are in. There's a very big difference. Objects create pain because of one's negative attitude toward them. How can these means be attained, and what is the root cause of that? Guess what's next? Going to sound familiar.
Ooh. Listen.
Listen, Brahma Rakshasa. All this is possible only through the grace of God, and that is obtained through pure devotion. Pure devotion is received from satsang, the company of the sages. O Prince, tell me, what is God? What is devotion? Who are called sages? Here it comes again. Listen, O Brahma Rakshasa, one who sustains the universe is God, and meditating on that is called bhakti, devotion. Those who are tranquil and merciful are called sages. O Prince, tell me, who is always fearful and miserable? Who always suffers from poverty? Those who are extremely rich are always fearful. They who have a large family are miserable. Those who are entangled in the snare of expectations are always poor. O Prince, tell me, who can be fearless in this world? Who is free from sorrow? Here it comes again. Yes, who is free from sorrow? Listen, O Brahma Rakshasa. A man who is not attached is fearless. One who has perfect control over the mind is free from grief. And one who has known that which is to be known is free from poverty. O Prince, tell me, who is that one who can be recognized with great difficulty? Who does not have body consciousness yet lives? What is called the non-doer state of life? O Brahma Rakshasa, a Jivan Mukta, one who is liberated here and now, is hard to recognize. Since he does not identify with it, he is free from the body, but still has a body. He performs all actions while remaining internally inactive. He performs actions yet remains untouched. What is existent, and what is not existent? What is impossible? After you have answered this, I will release your brother. O Brahma Rakshasa, the eternal seer, pure consciousness cannot be perceived. Therefore, there is no activity in it. Now I have answered your questions. Release my brother immediately. Let him go, you betcha. Having heard this, the Brahma Rakshasa became very happy and released Rukmangada. Then he assumed his previous state of Brahmanhood. Seeing this transformation of the Brahman, the princes, the two of them, wondered and asked, "Who are you?" Then that wise Brahman explained all about his past. I was a famous Brahman in the kingdom of Magadha. I was famous as Vasuma and was well versed in all the scriptures. I was proud of my learning, and I defeated hundreds of learned Brahmins in debates many times. I became very egotistical. I always remained eager to learn the scriptures and was brilliant in using logic. Once, while discussing the existence of Atman, I encountered the sage Ashtaka in a debate held by the king of Magadha. He was a tranquil seer. In the debate, I used mere logic and opposed him fiercely. Though his answers were appropriate and full of authoritative references, with the help of my crafty logic, again and again I dispersed all his arguments. In that debate, he was very calm. Kashyapa, a disciple of that great sage, got angry and cursed me. O egotistical Brahmin, you are insulting my Guru Dev for no rhyme or reason. Therefore you will become a Brahmin ghost for a long time. I was terrified at being cursed like this and sought refuge in the sage Ashtaka, bowing in front of him. The sage remained tranquil, and though I was his opponent, he was kind to me. He put a time limit on the curse. The sage said, whatever questions you have asked were resolved by me, yet you obstinately used logic. The day a learned man resolves all your questions, you will be free from that curse. O Prince, many years have elapsed. Now you have freed me from that curse. Therefore I admit that you are King of Kings and the leader among Jhanis. Cool dude. The prince was astonished to hear this. Again that Brahmin questioned him, and again his questions were resolved by the prince. After giving due reverence to the Brahmin, the prince and his elder brother returned to their city with their platoon of soldiers. Sage Dattatreya said, O Parashurama, I have answered all the questions you have raised. There you go. A little bit about the secret of Tripura, huh? Isn't it beautiful? Yeah, it's quite a journey. Yeah, pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll pause there, and
Glad to have you back, Tramsy.
yeah, Ma let the cat out of the bag, as the saying goes. That they have added a bonus chapter in here. It's the resolution of Vasuman's questions and the summary of the scripture. Here's where it all comes together. All comes together.
Everything?
The final crescendo is right here.
Cool.
The final Rahasya of Tripura will be revealed.
Friday afternoon.
All right, let's do it Friday afternoon.
It's a deal.
It's coming soon. And then, after that, during these times like this, which I guess we're doing 3 or 4 times a week, I've been moving through this. And people seem to be liking this approach. So I was thinking, I don't know, I haven't picked one yet, but next we'll dive into one of the Upanishads. I know, I did think. I was thinking of going into the Katha Upanishad, the Sacred Journey, and do that a little piece at a time. So we can start that on Saturday. Okay, so it's a little bit of a quiet morning here. Joel's with us.
Have a nice evening.
Have a nice evening. Yes, yes, it would be late evening there. It's what did we figure it is? 13, 15 hours. I've forgotten. One more time I've forgotten. Yeah. But it's
for New Zealand, I now know. New Zealand is 3 o'clock at night, and I think now for him it's maybe 1 or so because they're 2 more hours back.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1:45 a.m. Okay.
Oh, there's Raj.
And there's Raj. You just caught the end.
End of
Oh,
the-
listen, Brahma Rakshasa, that's the gist of it.
Yes. Listen attentively.
Listen attentively with folded hands, says Raj. Yeah. They've added one more bonus chapter to the Tripura Rahasya, and we'll do that on Friday, Raj. What is that?
It's a royal wave. I guess
Oh,
you have to start at the beginning when you're done.
It's a hand wave. Yeah, okay. Hi, Marydell.
Suddenly there's 6 people.
Well, I did not announce it ahead of time. Usually I put this thing out like the day before, and this serves as a reminder to me that I really need to do that because
Yeah.
people will see it.
I also have to do the Dutchies.
So, anyway, whether you're here live or watching the recording,
Listen attentively.
listen attentively, and thank you for visiting and playing.
Yes.
And this really is good
And
stuff.
check
isn't it?
out the new flag that Swamiji got.
Yeah, I put a picture on the Abhyas Ashram Satsang group. I got a new flag.
Very nice, Swamiji.
She likes
I
it.
really like it a lot. It's called
Yeah.
a feather flag.
It's a feather flag, not a
That-
feather.
Feather.
Feather, like those
Feather.
things on birds. Feather.
Feather.
Because a feather looks like this, and so
Yes.
it's called a feather flag. I have to be up in 5 hours.
Yeah, I'll
5? Well, that's a lot of rest time. Boy,
Yeah.
5 hours.
Enjoy deep sleep consciously.
If you get up in 3 hours, you'll have 2 extra hours of contemplation on Tripura. Uh-huh. Yeah, I know what he's thinking about. He's saying, well, yeah, okay, well, phooey on you.
Mm-hmm.
All righty.
He's
So,
already up now.
all righty. Bye-bye, all.
Bye.
That's right. I still have to push the finish
I
button.
demonstrated that I could do it fairly quickly.
Yeah, well,
during the
you're
weekend.
pretty quick.
Yeah.
I'm a little
Because I said at least I have to demonstrate that I can do
that
it.
you know how to do it.
Yeah.
And there's Rod.
What is that?
What is that? Is that
I
a
didn't know
bird?
they have them. It's just this. It's this thing. I don't know what this means though.
Oh, that's the Vulcan of Spock. And what's that?
But what does that mean?
There's a phrase that goes along, live long and prosper or something like
Okay.
that. I think. I don't know. Anyway,
He did that.
so
Here there's brown hands, and here so he mindfully shifted
there's a
to
way to
white
change the hands colors
color,
in
yeah,
some
so
of
here
some
now
of
he's
them.
white.
Somewhere I can't figure out how to change them. Somewhere else I ran into how to change the color of hands. Yes, he.
Enjoy the rest of the day, folks.
Yes, have a good day. Have a good rest, Joel.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. See you all later. See you tomorrow morning. So in about 22 hours, something like that. And so,
What?
good to be back.
Tomorrow we don't have anything.
What's tomorrow? Tuesday, that's
It's our day
right.
off, but we have to
I
work
guess I
anyway.
thought that today was Friday. I don't know how I turned today into
Your
Friday.
name is Swami
Yeah, what is my
Dinesh
name?
Rivera.
Who am I? Where am I?
You are
What-
in Florida, in Fort Walton
How did I get in
Beach.
Florida?
You're
I was
playing
in Pittsburgh, in Pennsylvania.
Yesterday, it's a whole new day.
It's a whole new day. Okay, all right. We'll do something then. Maybe are there any mangoes?
Yes.
Any good fresh, juicy?
Nothing like our mango delivery service.
Nothing
but
like
this
the
is
mango
substitute
delivery
for
service.
in the meantime.
Hi, Johnny.
Bye
Bye, Johnny.
I'm just gonna maybe go walk off. Maybe that helps.
Okay. All righty. Bye, all.
Bye.